In 1983, long before Mamma Mia, a musical was released for Christmas time, celebrating the music of ABBA. Even Frida was part of it. Although this is somewhat historic within ABBA's legacy, 40 years later, it seems to me that this project hasn't survived in too many memories. Today, I want to explore ABBAcadabra. What is it and why did it fail to leave more significance? Hey! So, as a lover of ABBA and as a lover of fairy tales, ABBAcadabra should be very exciting to me. But is it? Let's have a look at the history and legacy. In 1982, ABBA recorded their final music together for the next 35 years. Just 1 year later, in 1983, a musical was released using ABBA's music and even involving Björn and Benny and Frida herself. The musical was called ABBAcadabra, a fairy tale adventure bringing together several classic fairy tales. Historically, there are fascinating connections to ABBA before and after. It was written in French language by Daniel Boublil and none other than Alain Boublil. He wrote the French lyrics for ABBA's French version of Waterloo, and he was also involved in the French language version of The Winner Takes It All, which was recorded by Mireille Mathieu and which had backing vocals by Frida, Björn and Benny. It seems to be a coincidence, or not, that 3 years later, those 3 ABBA members were also involved in this very special musical project, ABBAcadabra. This musical can be seen to some extent as kind of an early incarnation, a prototype of what would be done again in the 1990s with Mamma Mia. But it was created by a different team, and one of the big differences is that Björn and Benny were certainly much more involved in Mamma Mia. On top of that, ABBAcadabra was unmistakably and completely aimed at children. The biggest difference is certainly that all of ABBA's original lyrics were completely gone. After all, the musical was written in French and received entirely new lyrics to tell a specific story. The music was released as a cast album and the song selection is really intriguing. It certainly has some of ABBA's big hits like Take a Chance on Me and Dancing Queen, but it also has many of their lesser-known deep cuts. The Visitors, I Let the Music Speak, The Piper, I'm a Marionette, and many others. Frida participated by recording a French language version of ABBA's choral song Arrival. This version was called Belle and was a duet with Danielle Balavoine. ABBAcadabra started life as a film for French television. It was filmed in the summer of 1983 with Frida in the cast. She played the princess herself, La Belle, Sleeping Beauty, and more than fittingly, it was filmed at the historic French castle Ussé. This castle was the inspiration for the story of Sleeping Beauty by the French author Charles Perrault. His tales laid the foundation for the fairy tale genre. The French musical was broadcast in December 1983 for Christmas season. Around the same time, ABBAcadabra was also released in English, adopted for the actual musical stage. This musical involved Frida again, as well as Björn and Benny. It was a limited show for the Christmas season 1983 and ran for 8 weeks at London's Lyric Theatre. The poster says, "Christmas this year at the Lyric means a brand new musical, ideal for all the family. ABBAcadabra, a musical adventure with music by ABBA." For this stage adaptation, ABBA songs were rewritten again with new lyrics, this time in English. But for this English musical version, no cast album was recorded. However, to promote the musical, 4 songs were recorded and released on 2 singles. Frida recorded Time with B.A. Robertson, the English equivalent to Belle and ABBA's Arrival. The B-side has the wonderful and mythical song I Am the Seeker, recorded by B.A. Robertson. This song was written by Björn and Benny and was actually an abandoned recording from ABBA. They recorded a demo version in 1981 during early sessions for The Visitors. The song was resurrected by Björn and Benny as their contribution for ABBAcadabra. The second single contains Like an Image Passing By, new lyrics written by Björn to the music of ABBA's song My Love My Life, and performed by Elaine Paige. The B-side was When Dreamers Close Their Eyes, the musical version for ABBA's Like an Angel Passing Through My Room. I must say the selection of songs, especially for these singles, is really intriguing. I really enjoy these recordings. And for me, these 4 recordings and Frida's Belle are certainly the highlight of the ABBAcadabra project. The 2 English singles were produced and arranged by Mike Bett, who wrote the music for the beautiful animated film Watership Down, including the song Bright Eyes, recorded by Art Garfunkel. Elaine Paige also played in the English stage adaptation of ABBAcadabra. It just so happens that she would become one of the stars of Björn and Benny's own musical Chess, which was in development around the same time. In fact, all of the artists from those two English singles played in the actual musical ABBAcadabra at the London Lyric Theatre, except for Frida. But Frida attended the premiere in December 1983. The following year, she made another final contribution to the project. On a second cast album in French, Frida recorded some beautiful operatic backing vocals for one of the original songs. Her backing vocals remind me a bit of her dramatic vocals in Money Money Money. Frida also made music videos for the songs Belle and Time, and she appeared on French and UK television with performances and interviews. ABBAcadabra basically gave us some of those rare moments when three ABBA members reunited after 1982, when Björn and Benny promoted their musical Chess and happened to be on the same show with Frida. They would cross paths again when Frida recorded and promoted her solo album Shine. The final life of ABBAcadabra came in 1985, when it was adopted for 2 more TV films in the Netherlands and in Portugal. Both productions also received cast albums in their specific language. Amongst the cast of the Dutch film and album were the 2 singers Bonnie St. Clair and Josie Houbé. They kind of have a cult following within ABBA fan circles, because in the same year Bonnie and Josie recorded and released an entire album with ABBA songs in Dutch language. And again, most of these recordings are based on ABBA's lesser-known songs. So with all my love for ABBA and fairy tales, and with all the foreshadowing for the much more successful musical Mamma Mia, why did ABBAcadabra fail to make more impact and is almost forgotten today? Firstly, I don't think this project was conceived to be a smash hit in the first place. It was done in celebration of and tribute to ABBA's 10-year career at the time, and it was aimed at children. ABBA's popularity with the masses was fading in the 1980s, and someone wrote that the public was just not ready for this kind of nostalgic celebration of ABBA's music. Furthermore, ABBAcadabra was not widely published for an international market in English language, but only for a limited number of countries. The English stage adaptation was a limited run and the only production that did not receive a full-length album. Most crucially, I think, is the fact that it doesn't have ABBA's lyrics, which are such an important part of their music after all. On top of that, being a TV production and aimed at children, the production value is very low-key. In my estimation, that also goes for the production of the actual music. It's simply done for the eyes and ears of children, and without wanting to talk it down, that's just how it looks and sounds. I really like the idea of mixing ABBA's music with fairy tales. The concept is great. I just personally wished it was done with a more high-quality production, more elegant and timeless. I think the concept would also even work terrifically as an animated film. These days, we are celebrating the 40th anniversary of ABBAcadabra. So I really want to know from you, have you known much about this project? How did you experience it back in the day? Maybe someone actually attended the musical in London for Christmas time in 1983. There seems to be almost no documentation or photographs from this English musical. So feel free to share any of your memories and thoughts about ABBAcadabra in the comments below. It was a curious and interesting exploration for me to bring together the gist of this almost forgotten chapter, and I hope you enjoyed this video as well. Alright, until then, hey do!